What is up, Surgeaholics? It's a magnificent Monday here in Soonerville. Sooner Surge, welcome. Monday night, we're 4 nights away from OU Temple. Thanks for joining us as always. I see most of the usuals in here and some newbies, and that's great. If you are a newbie, just know this. Every night at 9:30, we go live to talk all things Sooner sports. Right now, it's football pretty much across the board all night. What's up, Jay?
What's up? I don't know if you can hear the cricket. There's a cricket about 10 feet from me somewhere, and the thing, it's so loud. So if it keeps going and y'all can hear it, let me know. I'm going to go take care of that thing.
Hit the like. Hit the like. Mark said it really great earlier.
Oh, wow. Look at this one. Colin says, okay, I'll admit it. The Hay song has gotten annoying lately after hearing it every day.
It's not even about it being annoying, Colin. It's that there's no way it's going to hype people up, okay? No way.
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb got the money. Got
$250,000 for every reception he makes, pretty much. That is ridiculously overpaid.
No, it's not. It's the going rate, Jeremy. That's what it is.
And all of them are overpaid, Jay.
What's up, Trap House? It is game week, and it feels like a Tuesday, really, because you had the media, Brent Venables, you had players, and it's closer to – it feels – it's a Monday, but it feels like a Tuesday of game week. So
you're going to have to kill the cricket, man.
Can y'all still hear it? All right, Jeremy. I'll be right back.
Hey, yeah, Hunter, Toby Keith, pre-fourth quarter would be excellent. That would be awesome. It is game week, Trap House. Boomer. Can't wait. Hey, listen. Yeah, I'm here, so it's not Tuesday. That's right, Ron. I've got to say something, and listen. I'll get to Brian's question about Jaden Jackson. I don't think there's any reason to think Jaden Jackson won't be a starter midseason if he's starting at the beginning of the year. I think all he's done is impress. And then I watched the Jackson Arnold 5-minute, 5-second interview. I tell you what, and again, I know what people are going to say who's on here, who's watched the live every night. Everyone knows how high I am on Jackson Arnold. After watching that interview, I'm even more high on him. I am so stoked for him leading this offense. What he was talking about was great. I love it. And Eric, you are absolutely right. The fact that Jaden Jackson is playing day one seems to be that BV's like, I'm done with how many years you've been here. We're going to play the best. And the other thing, Eric, that he said that I think we talked about last night with even Steve Stutzman is Billy Bowman, Peyton Bowen, punt return, kickoff return, in the opposite order. BV said we're not going to worry about injuries. That's what he said. We're not going to worry about injuries.
Yeah, and he said they're going to play the best players at special teams too, like you said. So I'm kind of torn on it. I'm excited because I think those are the two best, and I want to see them. But then at the same time, you just got to hope they don't get hurt. I think they have more depth, so that's the thing. I listened to Kendall Dolby today was interesting. You don't get to hear from him a whole lot, I don't think. He's kind of, when you talk about the defense, I don't think you talk about him that much. Yet down the stretch, he was one of their best defenders last year. And now, if you remember last year, he played defensive back the first few games, cornerback. So now he's had a whole year to learn the cheetah position. So I'm excited to watch him at cheetah. I am. I think it's going to be great.
And listen,
I got a question after this. I got a very good question.
David Stone has impressed too. I think he led the defensive tackles and sacks in the offseason. I do want to get at something that Chief and I have brought up, Jay, but I'm going to let you talk first because you said you have something. I don't want to forget this, but Sooner Freak, I'm not going to say Baker high or Kyler high yet, but I'm super high.
Yeah, and he's a different player, and he even said he wants to set his own legacy. But just listen to him talk. He's not Bakerish in the way he talks. He's not – Baker had that swagger, cockiness about him. I don't think Jackson – now, Jackson's a sophomore.
To me, he's more confident, like Jalen Hurts type.
He's younger, yeah. I got a question, and I think it's a really good question I'm going to propose here. Because
Propose. Okay.
Propose is what I said. But right now, you're starting receivers for the first game: Jalil Farouk, Brennan Thompson, Deion Burks. They got a lot of speed. Size-wise, they don't have a lot with that group. Does that concern you? I'm not saying it's not going to concern you about Temple. I'm not saying that. But say Nick Anderson stays, he's day-to-day right now, is what BB said. Say he's injured. Those three right there, does the size concern you at all with those three?
Jay, Nick Anderson's going to be fine.
I know that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying
so size-wise. No, and actually, Jay, I'm going to say, do I think they need some size, physical presence at receiver eventually? I guess maybe for some certain plays. But listen, no one's going to stand. And you're bringing exactly what I want to talk about, which Chief T-Bird and I'm just going to say, Chief T-Bird and I have been all over the Brennan Thompson stuff since the Arizona game.
You have.
And if you heard Jackson Arnold today, he said he had a phenomenal fall camp. Like his route tree is better. Brennan Thompson's going to be absolutely impossible to defend, especially with Deion Burks in the slot. I don't know how, if the O-line can hold up, I don't know how teams are going to stay in front of these guys.
Yeah, and I asked it just to see what people thought. I agree. I don't think it's an issue. I think you have Anderson and Anthony that'll be playing some throughout the year, a good amount, so it's not that big of a deal. I think speed, they have speed all over the place. If anything, I think you're going to be able to stretch the field more than you have in a long time, which should probably give the running game a more advantage. Dalpos says he's got a screenshot of Sooner fan saying Farouk would never play another down in Oklahoma. I think, Jeremy, you were right there with Sooner fan, so this is probably a little bit shocking to you with Farouk getting a start there as well.
Okay, guys, I'm going to say this. I've already said this in the last couple of weeks. Kudos to Jalil Farouk. I stayed there. It sounds like he's a leader. Great. However, if he has ball security issues, I've got major concerns, Jay. So I don't understand. And by the way, if Anthony and Anderson were both healthy, it wouldn't look exactly the way it is now either. So
yeah, and I think I said Farouk as well. I think Farouk's gonna have a great year.
Hey, I do not care, and I've seen it all over the internet with OU Insider about the receipts, about or someone about we called on who would start. I don't care about receipts. I said that I thought Farouk was going to transfer. Kudos to him for not transferring. I do know that if Anderson and Anthony were both healthy, it wouldn't look exactly like this. I'm glad we got a veteran there instead of someone brand new. I just hope he has ball security. That's all I'm going to say. If he fumbles early, he cannot play this year.
Hey, Sooner fan, I didn't know he quit. I have heard Kevin Ward on there the last few days, so I was wondering where Eric was. Now that makes sense. 5.0 King, do we have to worry about Mike Hawkins transferring? I don't think so at all. I think he'll get his chance, and then he'll perform well. Let me see. Brothers with two different shines. Who is the bigger fan out of you two? I think
That'd
we're
be hard
equal.
to compare.
Ryan, we're equal fans of OU. I mean, if that's what you're asking, there's. I agree with this, Bobby, 100%. It's going to be. I agree with that. It's going to be different come Tennessee. It will be.
And listen, I'm not upset about anything. I'm glad Jalil Farouk's on OU. I hope that there's no ball security issues. Maybe he's going to have the best year of his life and not have turnovers that cost the team. I don't know, Jay. I'm just saying the Nick Anderson injury is day to day. So for people to think
he might play.
For people to think that this guy's going to be out for a significant amount of time is ridiculous.
Who said that? Nobody said that. Why?
No one. But
what? Wait. Back it up a little bit. Where are you getting? Why are you saying that for people to think he's going to be out at a significant time? Who said that?
No one. I thought I saw something in the chat about it.
If nobody said it, and now you're saying
you implied it with being concerned about lack of size.
I didn't imply anything. I asked a question. I did not imply anything.
They don't have a lack of size. They got great size.
I didn't imply anything.
Are you concerned is an implication. Sooner fan, if I'm DeJohn Terry, am I upset? No. Here's why. DeJohn Terry, Grayson Halton, Jaden Jackson, David Stone, I can name some others, but those four, it doesn't matter, in my opinion, who starts. They're going to play so many guys on edge and in D-line that you're basically all rotating through there. There is no concern there's no being upset if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, and Ryan Arnold had the pass to Farouk was a big time play by Arnold as well. So I would throw Arnold in there down the stretch. But Bowman, to me, that game was won by Billy Bowman. That pick six was the game. I mean, they were going to score, and then you take it the other way. That's game. I'm not talking about last year though.
Hey, we missed some of you guys last night on the live with Steve Stutzman. He was ready for the Surgeaholics to bring it. Some of you guys are being awful quiet behind the keyboards last night. Bring it. Let's go. He wants it.
I agree, Blake. I think Stone's going to play quite a bit. And the DeJohn Terry stuff, I think that he's going to play a lot too. I think it's going to be a revolving door. They're going to play a lot of guys on defense.
Gibson did have a great BYU game, but again, that was last year. I don't really care to talk about it. Spencer Rattler, was he a bust at OU? I'm going to say not necessarily, no.
Yeah, hey, this is some good stuff.
He was undefeated.
From what Scott says, the Tennessee guy where Terry's from, that's a great comment. And then also right here, where was it? Trap House. If I'm Terry, I'm upset with myself for not locking down that spot and leaving no doubt.
But Jay, I don't understand why everyone's assuming DeJohn Terry got benched.
Nobody said
he may be starting, Jay.
Yeah, it's Dominique Williams.
It's Dominique Williams or DeJohn Terry.
I think it'll be Williams, but listen.
I don't know who it's going to be, Jay.
I mean, I would be interested to know last year, how many games did he actually start?
Again, Hunter, at that position.
Hunter, can you look it up, Hunter? I don't know if you can look it up or not.
DeJohn Terry, Dominique Williams are the or-on-one defensive tackle. Jaden Jackson is the starter on.
Appreciate Hunter, by the way, looking this stuff up always.
Hey, Jay, are you in agreement that the four guys I mentioned, Jackson, Stone, actually there's five, Jackson, Stone, Halton, Dominique Williams, and Terry, they're all going to play about the same?
I agree. They're going to play a lot. And they do things differently. So, yeah. I'm not concerned about it at all. You can take what you want by the depth chart.
Okay. I'm seriously got to ask this, and do not take offense to this, Chicken 1515, and I don't want anyone to take offense to this. How are people saying Williams and Jackson have a chemistry, and how are people saying all this stuff about DeJohn Terry? Who's been at practice? I'm just really curious. When has anyone said DeJohn Terry got benched? Like, I'm so confused right now by a chemistry of the defensive tackles. I don't know what. Please enlighten me. I need to be enlightened tonight by the Surgeaholics.
I mean, I see Chicken talking about chemistry, and I do think there's something to guys playing well together, but I don't think they've decided it yet. To be honest with you, Temple game is the first game. You can't believe everything you read on a depth chart, everybody. I'm just telling you, you can't. Go back and look at last year's depth charts, and then I can probably think of 5 games where the depth chart was released, and you go out there in the game, and the guy that's listed as probably the starter is not starting. So I don't know. I think
people are saying people are saying the breakdown said it, and Drummond. But listen, defensive tackle chemistry. I'm sorry, I'm not.
But it's tough to be benched when you started 4 games last year.
But that's what I'm saying.
That's my point.
Say he was just benched, I don't think is accurate.
He only started 4 out of 13 games last year. What's a good question here? Let me see.
We need them. We need all 5 of those guys, Craig. You're right, Craig from ATL. We need all 5 defensive tackles, and we need about 5 edge guys.
Barry, thanks for joining us tonight. Barry, appreciate you. We're on here every night. Thanks for joining. Everything is more focused in year 3, all business approach from BV and the players so far. It does seem more business approach, but I got to see it to believe it. That's my thing. I got to see it to believe it.
Hey, Kyle. Kyle says, wonder what BV meant when he said offense isn't quite there yet. Here's what he meant. Actually, I don't want to say this is what he meant. This is, according to me, what he meant. You always have to be improving. Obviously, they've been going against the ones a lot. They've been going against the ones a whole lot. So it's going to look like they're not there. And, hey, ding, 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 ding. Chicken 1515. He's ready to bring it in the Discord. I'm ready for more of this chemistry stuff and where you got this. Thank you for subscribing to Sooner Surge Unlimited. Email us chicken1515. Hunter will put it in the chat. ousportsroundup@gmail.com. We'll send you the link for the Discord so you can chat it up with the Surgeaholics.
Yeah, real quick, I love what Selene says here. Options equals good, in my opinion. I agree. This is live. This is not a replay. We're always live.
Every
I
night.
was going to get to this. Ryan says trying to light a fire under him. You could say the same thing about PJ. PJ's listed as a third on there, isn't he? I mean,
it is. And Jay, again, I don't know. We said this on the video we did a couple of days ago. The oars can light a fire. Where you put someone on the depth chart can light a fire. Although if you go based on past depth charts, they don't mean anything. A guy who is third on the depth chart might play more than anyone else. To me, I think the biggest thing to take away from the depth chart, they got dudes. They got a lot of them. And if we were lied to again, I'm going to be very disappointed. If we were lied to about the competitive,
nobody was lied to.
That's a strong term. Last year, all we heard was competitive depth. They did not rotate many players, Jay, in certain positions.
Well, you know what I think it was? You can say you have competitive depth, and then you get in the games, and maybe you don't feel like you do as much as you did in practice.
You don't trust it, though. At some point, you've got to trust it.
Well, not if they're not performing, you don't. I mean,
if the starters aren't performing, though, why keep rolling with them?
I mean, if you can say they did it last year, but go look at it. I mean, Kip Lewis didn't start the year at linebacker. Kannick did. They brought Kip Lewis in and Kobe McKenzie. They played those guys. They played plenty of defensive backs last year. I mean,
yeah, the secondary, the running back, those two positions had more oars on those than anywhere else. The linebacker position had oars across the board. Again, we could say this all night. Someone asked about mental preparation. Is OU more mentally prepared?
Here's what I hope.
Arnold talked about that.
Yeah, but here's what I hope. I would hope that they're mentally prepared enough and confident enough that you can go out there and not play your best and win games. That hasn't happened in the last few years. They lost to Kansas and OSU with not their best games, and maybe they were overconfident. I don't know. They probably were overconfident playing Kansas, but you can't lose those games. You should be able to. I know it's college football and anybody can beat anybody, but you got to be sound enough fundamentally and confident enough in your play that you can go out there and take care of business against teams you're supposed to take care of business. And I don't mean just take care of business and win the game. If it's a team that you should beat by 15 or 20 points, get on them early, end it. Don't let them hang around. That's if you go look at a lot of the teams up there that OU wants to be, like Georgia, they don't let teams hang around very long if they're supposed to be.
And let me get to Chad's question. It was about Andrell Anthony. He's on the depth chart. I think the one thing you notice is when people saw Andrell Anthony on the depth chart, Jay, it was very, very, very exciting because it tells you he's really ready to go. They wouldn't have put him on the depth chart if he can't go. I don't think. Corey, thanks so much for becoming a Unlimited member. Email us at ousportsroundup@gmail.com. I'll send you the link, Corey. That way you can join the Discord and chat it up with the Surgeaholics.
Hey,
PJ Adebawore is.
Yeah, go ahead.
PJ Adebawore. I get that he's third on the depth chart. I don't think it means anything.
Yeah, I don't look at defensive end like I look at third and running back. I think it's a little, or third at quarterback. I think it's a little different. So it's way different. So
Sam Franklin, transfer portal guy, running back out of the transfer portal. Kyle, we did not recruit him.
And Brett Venable said yesterday, I believe, that in the fall camp and maybe both camps that he's made the most explosive plays for Oklahoma. So
which was shocking, Jay. Shocking.
Greg, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. The Tennessee game will be the tell-all. I think
it's a big one, Greg. It's a big one. Hey, I got to say something. And Franklin is on the kick return. He's the backup. So if they don't go Bowman and Farouk, he's on it. I did want to get to someone. I don't know if we can. I can't find it.
While you're thinking of it, let me go to this Eric comment. Eric, that would be just like what happened last year against after Texas. Everybody thought they'd be in the playoff after that. They didn't. And it's different. The difference is you can't – if you start like you're saying, you beat Tennessee and you beat Auburn on the road, the rest of the way, if you don't go 9-3, it's a bad year.
Jay, you're right. And Ron is calling people out. All you got to do is hit the like. It takes 1 second to hit the like. It helps us more than anything. Thanks, Ron. Jay, I got something with what Eric said and what you just talked about that I got to get to. Because I looked at OU's schedule again today, Jay.
Okay.
7 home games, 4 road games, 1 neutral game. If OU just doesn't lose a home game, guys, OU needs to Palace on the Prairie, get the Malcolm Kelly rap like Eric said, figure this out. This has to be a hostile environment because if you do not lose any home games, all you got to do is win a couple on the road. That's it. You're in the playoffs.
Well, and you look at the ones on the road.
2 of them. Win 2 of them.
It's tough, but you can definitely
2 out of 4.
Yeah.
Maybe you still Texas and you could lose. I mean, like, you cannot lose a home game. That Palace on the Prairie, figure it out, Sooner Nation. And I'm calling you all out here if you're sitting on your hands and you're telling people to sit down. Stop it. It's ridiculous. Give your tickets to someone else at that point. Sorry.
Yeah, they got to be SEC ready game 1. I know it's Temple, but it doesn't matter. It's your first SEC game, and they're calling you out right here, Dalpos. On that note, Jeremy,
I'll come through, Jay. I will come through before Friday. I've looked at one on Facebook Marketplace. I might be buying one for you guys.
Oh, you could probably get one from somebody, can't you? I looked today.
I got $80. I can get one.
Let me go.
You cannot lose a home game, Jay. You cannot lose a home game.
I agree.
So, and
I can't keep up with all these comments. There's a bunch rolling in here.
Hunter said this earlier about the Toby Keith song in the 4th quarter.
What about it?
That there's going to be a Toby Keith song in the 4th quarter. In
between the 3rd and the 4th quarter, yes. It's going to be.
You're right. Hey, Chief is 100% right here, Chief. If Anthony is back to 100%, it would be a historically fast wide receiver group with Anthony, Burks, Thompson. And listen, and you got those guys with speed, and you got Bauer Sharp at tight end, who I think is going to be really, really good. Man.
Hey, play a recorder, Matt. He played before the live show yesterday. He called me and played on a little kid's piano, and it sounded awful. And not that it was bad notes. It just sounded bad. It would sound really bad on a recorder. I told him no. So
why is Hunter going to be in trouble? Eric, why will Hunter be in trouble? Curious. Hunter's curious.
Probably trying to keep up with all the comments on here. That's probably what he means. Okay. Let me get to this. CE. All the comments. It's going to be hard.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Here's the deal. I've said this before, and I understand your point. And you're saying if the defense performs at an elite level, the crowd will follow. I agree. The defense always helps get the crowd into it more. But I do think there's a percentage of fans that will only get into the game if OU gives them something to cheer about. And they will not get into the game until that happens. Because you know why I say that? Because I know people personally that's the way they cheer on OU. They will sit there until OU gives them something to cheer about. And that is the wrong attitude to have. Yes, defense will help the crowd get louder. It should. So will offense and scoring points and all that. But you got to start when the game starts. You can't be rolling in late. You can't be waiting for OU to do something before you get into a game. The fans have to be better than that.
Yeah, and Mars, I don't know if I read the name right, said Thompson sound confident. I do want to get to, you had Petaway as a backup. No one's mentioning Zion Kearney. I'm super high on Kearney. I know he started on the depth chart on that side. They have guys to step up for Jaden Gibson, especially speed. Jay, you mentioned fans getting into it. I don't understand why 3rd downs aren't louder. Hey, they did talk to Jackson Arnold about helmet communication. He said, I would hope when we have the ball, the OU fans are going to be quiet. And then on road games, he's going to have to cup his helmet a lot more maybe than people are thinking. Hey, and he talked a lot about Johns, the analyst, Jay.
Yeah. Kimberly says students are ready. They've been sharing their chance. I also do think not having Big 12 teams coming into Oklahoma will make a difference because I think you kind of get used to the same old teams rolling in there. And now it's SEC teams. It's going to give it a better atmosphere. I think every time they played non-conference games there that were big games, they were better atmospheres. So I do think.
Hey, CE likes the old heads that listen to the radio while
And
watching
that's
the game.
fine.
Hey,
I understand that.
my dad would probably do that if he was at a game this year. But listen, what it does, you can still be loud and listen to your Walkman. Yes, I said Walkman.
Student
Remember the
section
Walkman radio, Jay?
The student section is going to be fun, but it's got to be loud and it's got to be raucous and it's got to be crazy.
I don't want it to be fun. I want it to be hostile. And I'm going to say something right now about student sections. You ready? Jackson, Hunter, Colin, I don't know how many of you guys are at OU watching, but I know this from high school realms and ranks. It is not about you. I hate to say that, Jay. It bothers me when people think that, we're going to do this so that people will watch us and we'll be the. It is about supporting the team. Like some of those student sections, it becomes more of a show for them.
I think that's more of a high school thing.
It is a high school thing. I agree, but it's made its way to the college ranks.
Fanstop says definitely should be tighter games. Hopefully the crowd will stay to the end. Yeah, I would think they would. I mean, I think there are going to be a lot of tight games this year. We've talked about it. There's going to be a lot of games that are going to be within one possession games that OU has to win this year. They can't be doing like they did the last 2 years, or their record's going to show it. Got to come out on the other side of it. Hey, I got trivia tonight. Here we go. Sponsored by the Fanstop. Check them out, www.thefanstop.com. Great looking shirts and other gear, officially licensed. Sign up for the shirt of the month. When you do, use code SURGE. You'll get 10% off your first 3 months. Go check them out. I promise you. Go check them out before the season starts. Get signed up so you have OU gear rolling in all year for the season. So go do it. After the live, go do it. Challenge you to do it. Here we go with the trivia. Jaden Jackson, the accomplishment he's making by starting at Oklahoma as a true freshman on the defensive side of the ball is unreal. Okay. 4 true freshmen have started a season opener on the defensive line. Okay. I simply want to know who was the one that started on the defensive line from the 918 area in Tulsa.
Hey, and big shout out to John, who is a Sooner Surge Unlimited member and has signed up for the Shirt of the Month Club on Fanstop. Curious, John, did you get the premier package with the long sleeve edition hoodies or the t-shirt package? You will not be disappointed. They're amazing.
There it is, right there. But shocked me, by the way. This was a shocker to me. Corey Cowens.
Number 92, Jay.
That was a shocker from Jinx. I was shocked. I did not know he started his first as a freshman there. Impressive.
Hey, I've got to say something to Mez. Mez, I appreciate every night, like clockwork, you dropping your 12-0. I absolutely love the faith you have in the Sooner team. However, I am going to say that's a pumper take. Okay, that is I don't predict any team in college football to go 12-0, including Georgia.
Hey, he was not a 5-star, Chief.
No, he was not a 5-star.
He might have been like a high 3. Maybe he was a 4.
And great job using the 10% off code. Thank you, John. We really appreciate it.
Eric, what is the but about?
Maybe he's saying that I was saying that's a pumper. I don't know. I've never said 12-0, so I'm not sure.
Collins was a freshman. This was from Mike Brooks, the encyclopedia of OU football. He knows all.
Yeah, Georgia. I don't think Georgia's going undefeated. I just don't.
Well,
Jay.
they'll be 0-1 after Saturday, in my opinion.
I know you think they're losing to Clemson. I don't.
How about Dabo coming out today saying he's no longer taking live call-ins on his show after last year and what happened?
It was great meeting you, Corey. Having lunch. Appreciate it. Yeah. Thanks for the compliment. Yeah, true freshman. True freshman. That is correct.
Not shocked at all. What are you not shocked about, Hunter? Hey,
That
appreciate
Jay
it, Mark.
picked an upset pick.
Mark, appreciate it. You guys keep it real. We try, and we try, and we don't. You don't. No one's going to always agree with stuff. We don't agree with each other most of the time, but we do try to keep it as real as possible. Who do you got as your non-power going to the playoff? You got Liberty.
Greg's right. I do have Liberty. I do think TU is going to be a lot improved from last year. They're going to be improved, but they're going to be improved. But Liberty, to me, makes the most sense. But listen, sometimes, and they had some changes. Sometimes teams, when a team like Liberty or teams when they actually get a lot of publicity, they don't perform as well when they're kind of the top dog. And we'll see if Liberty can.
Hey.
I like Liberty.
Hey, Ron, I'm going to switch subjects real quick just to say this. Yes, he's got looks like he's maybe, I have to see it to believe it, but he's had a great offseason, moving back to football. Hey, a lot of people are high on Memphis as that non-power. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not as much. Lane, I did see the Jaden Jackson interview, and I giggled as well. Kyle says, according to the depth chart, Kip Lewis lost weight and is back down to 215.
Well, okay, listen, I saw somebody, I think, DM'd or tweeted, they tweeted at George Stoya and asked this question about the weights on the depth charts. And the question was phrased, should we be concerned that a lot of the weights have changed back? His answer was no. I don't know if that meant don't go off the weight of the depth chart. I don't know if that meant they did slim down some. I don't know what that means. But I took it as maybe the depth chart weights are not accurate. I don't know.
I agree, Jay. I agree that there are some things, weird things there. Hey, Jaw Jack, and I'm assuming you're a Tennessee fan. That would put a few of you on here. Big Orange, Scott V, maybe Jaw Jack is one. But here's what I'm going to say. OU, the only thing is, in the first SEC game, you would hope that OU doesn't come out too amped up in that game. You got to kind of settle in. But
it's going to depend on Jackson Arnold. But they have a freshman, young quarterback.
To lose to Tennessee and Josh Heupel would be a horrific beginning of the SEC. Will not happen.
Whoever plays better at quarterback in that game wins that game, in my opinion, between those two young quarterbacks. I think that's the difference in that game. Whoever plays better at quarterback.
Yeah.
Hey, Crystal. Let me put it up here. Crystal.
I couldn't click it. Maybe Hunter can get it on the screen.
Yeah, I can't click it either, Hunter. You're going to have to hit that one, bro. There it is.
There it is.
Appreciate it, Crystal. Thank you so much for the super. Means a lot. Helps us out. With BV new at the helm, our DC and OC both young in their play calling roles, is it reasonable to say OU is one of the most experienced coaching staffs? Do you mean inexperienced coaching staffs or experienced?
Yeah, I'm not saying – I mean, Seth Luttrell is experienced, but I wouldn't say that OU is one of the most experienced. I would say they have I think OU for sure has better chemistry in the coaching staff than last year. I'll say that, okay? And jaw-jacking. You talk about the front seven. The front four at Tennessee is probably the best OU is going to see. There's a lot of people who think the front four at Tennessee is it. Their secondary is not. So it's going to come down to, I think, OU running the ball to where they can set up the pass. I can't believe we're already talking OU Tennessee right now, but I can't wait. But I just can't wait for this week, really.
Yeah. Hey, Stubby, I know you can't stick around, but yeah, you're right. Couldn't believe that either, and couldn't believe that Corey Cowlins, as the trivia question we asked earlier, also started as a freshman. Unbelievable. But it's crazy it's been that long. And who would have thought, after the power line recruiting class with David Stone, who would have thought Jaden Jackson would be the guy starting? I don't think many people would have.
Well, I'm not gonna be here to say read my receipts, but from the very beginning, I said Jaden Jackson could be everyone's high on David Stone, but Jaden Jackson, I think, is the guy. But
hey, Michael's spitting facts here. Heard the same thing about Florida State's front four, and they got mashed. They did have a very highly touted front four, especially at edge with Marvin Jones, and they did. Marvin Jones was just running around in circles, it seemed like, last week. So
I'm excited about the chemistry of the OU coaching staff. David Stone said it about Jackson.
Yeah, he did. He did.
A lot of people did. Like Gray God said it. A lot of people said that.
That's right. Monty, he did start as a freshman. Bowman did, but we were talking specifically defensive line. Bowman
sorry,
did
Monty.
start.
Crystal.
Yes.
Their DC, Zach Alley's what, 34 years old or something like that? Seth Luttrell hasn't been calling plays in years.
They are very inexperienced, Crystal. I would agree.
Yes. And I'm going to say this, Jay, about same thing like I said, the mysteries. It's unknown for some, but that's not always a bad thing.
That's right.
Oh, he's only 28. Sorry.
Is he really 28? No.
He's wise beyond his years. I will say that.
I think he's older than 28, though.
Yeah, I thought he was in his 30s, but Hunter will drop it in there because Hunter's goated like that. Guys, if you haven't hit the like, please do so. Again, it helps us. We come on here every night at 9:30. We try not to miss any nights. And we do it because we love it and we love chatting with you guys. You guys are great. Keep the comments rolling. We're doing our best to get to the comments. We're showing a lot of them. Hit the like. It helps our channel.
Hey,
Allie was
I'm asking you a question, and I don't even want you to think about it. Rapid fire answer. Who gets the first carry at the game at running back for Oklahoma?
Gavin Sawchuk.
Okay, I agree.
And here's why. Here's why. I went and watched Florida State game, Jay. Do you remember when OU played Florida State 2 years ago in the bowl game?
Yeah.
Javonte Barnes was really good in that game. I went and watched some of his tape, but to me, it would be a disservice to Gavin Sawchuk if he doesn't get the first carry. And I hate to say that, but Gavin Sawchuk, according to everyone's had a great camp. He hasn't done anything to relinquish the role. You got to roll with Gavin Sawchuk at the beginning. You have to.
I think so. And I don't know where I saw it, but I think Britt Venables was talking about the offense. Maybe it was today at his presser. It's about how fast they're going to go, and he wants to see a downhill running game. I think they're going to run the ball more than they've had in a while.
It does sound like they're going to be pretty good tempo, Jay, because Jackson O'Neal talks about the tempo.
Sooner Freak, absolutely shocked by that. I was.
Yeah, he's the guy that I think if he doesn't get any run this year, he's done.
I mean,
Jay, do you remember his post last year? He had some weird Twitter post in season.
There was one post we thought he was going to come out and start the next game because it's like his time, but never did.
Juan Blero from Japan. I am going to the Missouri game. I think Jay is as well.
Correct.
I would love to be able to get the Ole Miss game. That's one on my radar. And I know Jay has a chance to make it to Death Valley.
Here's the thing. Honestly, I'd like to go to a lot of the home games. It's not feasible with us doing pregame and postgame lives to be able to go to the games, do the pregame and postgame live. We don't have a setup to really do that. So we're kind of going to pick and choose some games to go to and figure it out then. But and Eric says he thinks Hicks hype was all smoke. But you had players say it last year, though. That's the thing that was.
And Jay, I do tend to agree with Eric because to me, what does Hicks give you that the other guys don't?
Yeah, that's true.
That's the thing.
Hey, I have not been to a Hog football game. I have not. I'll go when OU goes there. Hunter, I don't know if you can put Chief's comment up there. I can't hit it. Maybe you can hit it for us.
Jay does not go to any Hog games. Chief, every night, almost like
Jerm, did we lose you? I don't know what happened.
Right in the middle of my talking about Chief complimenting. Less than 96 hours, people. Should be awesome with the games and then Sooner Surge every night. Let's go. Thanks, Chief. It will be awesome. It will be awesome. Hey, here's what I'll promise you. If you don't insult, personal insults, I don't care if we're upset, happy. We're real here. We're real. We will be genuine. We'll be passionate, and I know you guys will as well.
Did your wife something get onto you or something you get put in time out for a bit? Or maybe Matt says
absolutely not.
pedal faster, maybe, Jeremy. Are you
Must.
buying? I'll ask this question to everybody in the chat too. Are you buying? Because we've heard stuff before in other years about hype on certain players. Are you buying that Javonte Barnes is back to his old self?
I am buying it.
Are you?
I'm buying it just because of what I've seen just on a couple of clips. And again, you can't tell, but man, if there's anyone in the running back room right now who's just absolutely got something to prove, it's Javonte Barnes. Would you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely.
A lot of people are not buying it.
And some people are, some people aren't.
I will say this: you cannot buy the JJ Hester talk and not buy the Javonte Barnes talk.
I think a lot of people would say the same thing about Hester that they're saying about Barnes.
But here's why I don't agree with that, Jay. I don't buy the Hester stuff because I've never seen it from Hester. I've seen it from Barnes.
We'll see. We'll find out.
Hester's the backup this week.
I think Brian's right. You're gonna have to see it. Any of these guys like Hester or Barnes, you haven't really seen it in a few years. You're gonna have to see it. I think it's a smart answer.
Jay, I want to hear from the Sooner fans in the chat because, and I agree with Eric. After that play against OSU, no one wanted to see Javonte Barnes ever again. And really, for the same thing, a lot of people didn't want to see Farouk after the bowl game. I was one of those. I will say, however, though, there's one thing I want to see from Javonte Barnes, Jay. You know what it is?
What's that?
His cutback ability. He would slip easily. He didn't have a lot of great balance. Like, I want to see him running like that. Like, if he's going to go in there and be slow on cuts, and I don't know. I won't be sold him. Get him out of that.
Dalpos, you have been a loyal Barnes and Farouk supporter. I remember back when the bashing had started on Farouk, you were backing him up big time. And I'll say this, there was a comment I was wanting to get to. Dang it. Well, Chief says Tatum RB1 by Tennessee. Let me see if I can find this comment I saw.
Hey, I got to say real quick, Jay, while you're finding it. Mark Riles, if that's
thanks,
correct. Mark. Massive thanks for
Appreciate
the suits there. Thanks for being on here tonight. Every night at 9:30. You won't miss us. We'll be on every night at 9:30. Set your clocks. Look, Colin Walker and Marcus Major are both in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
To me, they both seem like Big Ten backs.
Well, I think Walker is great.
Jay, if these other guys are as advertised, and I saw someone else mention Tatum. If Tatum gets in there, and to me, Tatum's a guy that is a 5-star, borderline 5-star. If he's here, Jay, and he comes in and he makes an electric play, I agree with the fans that his stock's going to go up because of the potential with him.
Hey, my question, I remembered it now. My memory came back. The running backs. Go back to Eric Gray was probably the last time I remember I really felt like they had some good plays out of the backfield in the passing game. Last year, I don't remember a whole lot.
They didn't do it, Jay.
They didn't do it a whole lot. I would love to see these guys. I mean, maybe Franklin's a guy who can catch the ball in the backfield. Obviously, I think Tatum can. I don't know how good Barnes is at that, but I think Gavin Sawchuk can catch the ball in the backfield. I hope they use that a little bit more. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think anybody knows what you're going to get really with Seth Luttrell's offense yet. You have to kind of see what he likes to do, because I don't think the bowl game really showed it. That was not a true Seth Luttrell offense. I think you're going to see more running game, I hope, and maybe they're going to use a tight end. They didn't use him in the spring game. I think they will start the season.
Eric thinks that Sam Franklin's going to get more than Barnes, and maybe. Jackson, I know what you said. I disagree. I won't sit here and talk about Gray. It's been forever. I'm sorry, and I'm going to say this even about Tolly Walker, Jay. I'm just a fan of guys who can make house calls on any time they touch the ball. Eric Gray, to me, was not a house call guy, and Tolly Walker was definitely not a house call guy. I want a guy who can score every time they touch the ball at running back.
Hey,
is that wrong of me?
No, that's not wrong. I mean, I think OU should have a player like that every year that can do that. Greg says Levy was too busy calling wide receiver screens. You know what's going to be funny, though, guys? And you know this is true, Jeremy. The first bad game that Seth Luttrell calls, everybody will be saying, man, I wish Lebby was still there. Just be ready for it. It's going to happen. It happens every year at Oklahoma when an OC makes a bad call. I mean, Joe John Finley as co-offensive coordinator, he's not going to have to handle that heat. It's coming from Seth Luttrell. He's calling the plays. So I'm interested to see what he does, Seth Luttrell. I really am. Tight end game, running game, and all of it. I think they're going to stretch the field a lot.
Robert mentioned Rodney Anderson. Robert mentioned Joe Mixon. Look, Kennedy Brooks was faster than people gave credit to. He was a guy that did take some to the house, but I do want a house call guy at tailback.
Yeah,
Jay, I'm going to be disappointed, and maybe they're going to be vanilla. I'll be disappointed if there's not a two-back set at least once. I'll be disappointed because we were kind of told that.
And Mess says Lebby sucks, Jay. He had some bad games last year. His offense didn't suck. Look how many points they put up. And I'm just saying, you can say he sucks. That's fine. He's no longer at Oklahoma. But there will be people that'll say, I wish Lebby was still here if Luttrell throws a clunker out there one game. I'm just saying it's the fact of OU football.
Kennedy Brooks was not a 4.6. I may be wrong. Eric. I don't think he was. Maybe Hunter can look it up. I thought Kennedy Brooks was low 4.5.
Kyla, I disagree. I'm sorry. Nobody going to be calling for Lebby. There will be.
Hey, there will be absolutely people calling for Lebby, Kyla. If Seth Luttrell is not top 20 in offense.
But I'm not one of those guys. I think Luttrell will do good. I think he'll perform well. I think the offense will be great. When was the last year Oklahoma didn't have a high prolific offense? What year?
It's a long time ago, Jay.
I think you'd have to go back before Lincoln Riley
Jay,
in the Josh Heupel years, and it was still pretty dang good. So,
but Jay, people need to stop saying Lebby was awful because he wasn't. It was a top 5 offense. But I will say this. Being a prolific offense doesn't matter. That doesn't guarantee a national championship. You've got to be a great offense at the right time during the games.
That's it. Complementary football, all 3 phases of the game. Paul Thompson year.
Thompson year was a great example.
Trevor Knight. Yeah.
Trevor Knight's year after he dominated Alabama, the next year he wasn't very good. Blake Bell's year, it wasn't a prolific offense.
Frank, I have no clue what song they're going to play. I would think they might do Red Solo Cup. I don't know what they're going to do.
Eric, I was wrong. Kennedy Brooks was close to 4.6, but hey, guess what? I didn't include Kennedy Brooks as a speedster on my list of guys, but you are correct. I was wrong.
Hey, thanks, Monty, for the kind words. I appreciate it big time for being a supporter. Hunter says he thinks it's going to change from game to game. I don't know if it will. I don't know if they'll go.
As far as what?
As far as the song, the Toby Keith song after the third quarter. I think Seth will deal it out too. I really do. I think one thing you're going to see this year that you didn't see in the last few years, I think you're going to see more deep balls than they've done. I think they're going to stretch the field with their speed and use it in that aspect. Because I think the run game, they're going to lean on the run with play action a little bit more. We'll see, though. I don't know. Lebby coached at Kansas. That's a fact. That's a fact, Clark. You can say that.
Hey,
you're right.
And I'm going to say something here, but it's probably too late to do. But Anthony, I think that's going to be tough to do because they were so good last year.
20 interceptions.
They were really good last year. Selene, I wasn't following OU in 2000. What did it take? I tell you what it takes to win a national championship. 24 years ago. Yeah. Thanks for reminding me. It's been a while. That team had big-time moments that happened throughout that year. They made big-time plays and big-time moments. The defense was absolutely top-notch, and the offense was they made plays when it mattered. They were great on third downs. Quarterback Josh Heupel scrambled and extended plays and picked up first downs. All kinds of those are winning plays.
They could have lost 3 or 4. They could have lost 3 games that year, and they won them. Hey, Bobby, you're right about this. That's why I think they're another team that's unknown in that area. And I think Texas A&M beats them opening weekend. At Texas A&M, Texas A&M's got to win that game. Got to win that game, I think.
They have to, Jay.
I mean, Texas A&M supposedly is supposed to have a really good defensive line. They should be able to handle Notre Dame up front. But
I think Greg God said something about Lebby, and I agree with it. Everyone who's bashing Jeff Lebby, he did get an SEC head coaching job for a guy who's super young. People can say what they want. His circumstantial or situation or whatever you want to say, play calling, definitely needed some work. But his offense, he's one of the most sought after offensive coordinators in the country, guys. That's a fact. Whether you like him or not, I don't really care. I'm just saying, I'm stating a fact that Jeff Lebby's offense was really, really good.
Hey, and we'll do score predictions later in the week, but I'll go and answer my score for Clemson, Georgia. I got Clemson winning that game. I got them winning that game 27-24.
And by the way, someone, Cracker Mac, just said, I'm not saying Jeff Lebby's going to be a great head coach. I'm saying Jeff Lebby has a brilliant offensive mind. I'm not even saying that his play calling is the best ever. He has a great offensive mind. You can argue with me. You're going to be wrong on that one.
But you can't argue the fact that in key moments of games, he couldn't perform. He couldn't make the big calls.
And no one wants to hear this. You're getting me fired up right now. But Dylan Gabriel not being able to – Jay –
listen to me. Let me finish. Let me finish what I was saying first. Then you can come out with your Dylan Gabriel stuff. I know it's coming, but the OSU game, they have the ball in their hands to go win that game, and they
make
on
plays at quarterback too.
4th and 5 or whatever it is, they threw a 2-yard pass to Drake Stoops, and he was the go-to guy to throw it to.
There was another reason.
That's a horrible play call.
They actually ran that play against Arizona, and Jackson Arnold threw it to the second read, if you remember that. Jackson Arnold threw it to the second read.
And Jeremy, Kansas.
He did. You know I'm right.
Kansas, they throw the ball 9 times. Are you kidding me?
Did Jackson Arnold go to the second read on that?
Yeah,
they ran the same play. They ran the same play, and Jackson Arnold looked off Stoops and threw it to the middle of the field.
Center Freak says, if it's not raining, Lebby's okay.
Yeah. And Jay, I agree with you on a lot. But what I'm saying is, the OU did not go down the field as much last year, Jay, that they needed to. And Joe Klatt made a comment that with what they have, that Arnold's high for this team with his arm strength. But I got to bring up Joe Klatt. I know we're going late, but I'm going to keep going. Why? Because I love it. Joe Klatt called the Big 12 the deepest conference. Did you hear me?
I heard you.
Joe Klatt said the Big 12 is the deepest conference.
Okay, but did he say that because he thinks there's maybe 8 teams that could win the Big 12? That's probably
part of it, but that doesn't mean deep to me.
That is deep. That means 8 teams could win it. I don't think he's saying they're deeper than the SEC as far as they're better down low. I think he's saying that it's wide open. Anybody can win it.
Brian, you can disagree with me. I could care less. Jeff Lebby is a great offensive mind. He may not be a great head coach at all. His play calling, everyone may leave a lot to be desired. But the offense, that people are flocking to go where he's at because his offense. Okay, that's a fact.
That's a good comment, Eric. I like the way that's said. Someone said the Big 12 is not deep; it's wide. He agrees.
I like that better, Eric.
And Brian,
I like that better.
Brian, I've lost plenty of picks. Okay, and I may lose the Clemson pick. Okay, I you know what? When I pick games, I go a lot of gut feel. That's what I go with. I did get Georgia Tech right. So, but hey, you know what? I'll probably lose this game, but that's where I'm picking. I'm not changing. I am not a flip flopper. I picked Clemson probably 2 months ago. I'm just not going to change. So.
Hey, congrats, Surgeaholics. You've made it through Monday. It was a long one, but it's gone. It's here. It's gone by. It's Tuesday almost, and it's game week, and we can't wait. Be here every night at 9:30. Some shout-outs, okay? Shout-outs right now. Stay here for the shout-outs. Corey for becoming a Sooner Surge Unlimited member. Thank you.
Chicken
1515. You guys email us at sportsroundup@gmail.com so you can join the Discord and chat and banter with all of us. Chief T-Bird, thanks for the super. We had Mark Riles, thank you so much for the super. Crystal, thank you so much for the super. Am I leaving anyone, Jay?
I can't remember if there was another one or not. That might be it. Those 3, I believe. Crystal.
Hey, appreciate everyone that's been on here. It was amazing tonight. We went 54 minutes, guys. That means it's getting close to – hey, I promise you, Friday night, the post-game live may go to midnight. I'm here for it. Jay's here for it. We'll talk all night. Sayonara from Japan, Juan Blero. We'll see you all tomorrow. Hit the like before you get off.